Bonus Banter by BuildingWell.
That's hilarious.
This is fun.
Let's try it again.
Welcome to the very first bonus episode of the BuildingWell podcast. Alina and I thought it would be nice to just take a few minutes after the episode and discuss what we learned and just summarize for all of our listeners today.
I feel like that was such a great example of our work at New Ecology, and it was so interesting to hear Pat and Marty talk about existing buildings. Like Pat said, it's just such a huge portion of affordable housing, and a lot of our work is new construction, but that's just such a small portion compared to naturally occurring, so it's interesting to hear about that.
It's easy when we talk about high-performance building or sustainable development to really only picture new construction because that's what's exciting, right? You can build it from the ground up. But as Pat and Marty were talking about, it's like existing buildings are what we need to really work on if we want to reduce our carbon emissions. And, even some cities, like she said, have specific goals like Boston. That's not all new construction buildings. It's mostly existing buildings. So it's really interesting. And also the different challenges, even though we don't think of Baltimore and Philadelphia as that far or that different from Boston. Really, everything is different, from the housing stock type to the type of players in the field, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. And just what he said about the energy costs themselves being that much lower in the Mid-Atlantic, like it has a huge impact on what's incentivizing people to reduce energy usage or to invest in improving envelopes and all those things. Like if it's just so much more expensive up here in Mass and we're also having heavier winters and using a lot more energy, the built-in incentive is just more there for property owners than it would be in the Mid-Atlantic. So it's a challenge, an interesting challenge, but it's still really important to reduce energy in the Mid-Atlantic. So how do you go about that? And I think that's what Pat's been working on for a long time, and increasing those incentives that aren't going to be taken care of by the market, like the basic market. There has to be incentives coming in or regulations to improve energy efficiency.
Exactly. And not only incentives, but basically help. It's great that Pat and his team are focusing on the naturally occurring affordable housing because it isn't regulated. There's nobody that's like at the top making regulations for all of these. It's, as you said, it could be 20 row homes with 20 different owners.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to be like helping these people and guiding them through all this extremely complex landscape.
Yeah. Yeah. And especially like when you think about row homes and owner-occupied row homes and how much work it is to renovate one for an individual owner. Like I get overwhelmed just thinking about, I don't know, getting new windows at my house. But like if you're completely retrofitting one, it's so much work. I'm fascinated by the state home repair programs. I think that's a really interesting way to build capital in underserved communities.
Absolutely. I'd love to expound upon that topic more.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
More to come on that in a future episode, I think.
I think so.
Well, that was a great episode with Pat and Marty, and it's fun to chat with you about it, Michelle.
Yes, it really was. Me too. It's nice to build on the knowledge that we already have from the first 3 episodes. It's really sequential learning, which I love.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks, Alina, for taking the time to discuss this. And thank you to all our listeners who stayed on and listened to this bonus content. We hope to make more of these in the future, and we hope you enjoy. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.
Thanks.